coming down the home stretch. Wednesday, September 26th. 3 more of these, and then we are done. Jake, are you excited for the end of the MLB season? This is the final Wednesday slate to talk about.
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, it's always nice to move on to another sport until you start getting crushed at that. So everyone's favorite sport is the next one in DFS until that one doesn't go well. So I don't know. I'm pretty pumped for NHL season. So I'm ready for we'll be playing playoffs and such during the day because I get to do that for who I work for, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Watch some playoff baseball. Have my TVs here. Hopefully make some money. Yeah. What about you? I know you're itching for NBA.
I'm certainly itching for NBA. I don't know what it is, but like I'm not ready to quit baseball just yet. My only saving grace is that when the season ends, my ROI will be positive. It got a little dicey there late August. Didn't know if I was going to be able to maintain, but I'm happy. I can consider that a success.
Yeah, I mean,
it is not the success that it was in July, but it's still a success.
Yeah, I mean, my ROI is great. I'm super happy with how the season went. Thankful became a thing because I got. Hopefully, I can move up in stakes next year in MLB, and yeah, it was super successful. So
yeah, I anticipate being pretty aggressive for MLB next year.
What's that?
I anticipate being pretty aggressive for MLB next year.
Yeah, aggressive early too. I think is probably the best way to go. So that'll be more conversation for March. That'll be. I don't know. I agree with you. I think it's going to be fun in March when we're itching for MLB again and we get to do the show and get really rejuvenated by playing some more baseball.
Exactly. We've got 12 games today. It's a bit of a mess. Lots of games do not have odds yet. I count 1, 2, 3. There are 4 games on the main slate that don't even have a line. 2 of them don't necessarily have a pitcher, although they might. So we'll give it a shot. Let's dive right in because, YOLO. That's my new thing. I'm going to say YOLO in every show. I'm bringing it back.
Did it go anywhere?
I think it's been gone for a while. I mean, I think it was only really around for like 3 months.
After that Drake song?
Yeah, probably.
There you go.
Braves and Mets. Braves, 3.1 run implied total. Mets, 3.9. It's a 60% chance to win for the Mets. Sean Newcomb going for Atlanta. Jake DeGrom going for the Mets. If you think Jake DeGrom is going to throw a lot of innings, he's in a very reasonable spot. But 13-2 is a pretty healthy price tag. I don't anticipate having much DeGrom. What about you?
Yeah, I don't think I can get there with DeGrom in any sort of like way that matters. Like I'll probably end up with 5 to 10% of him just because I'll have the extra salary. But 13-2, you look at like just his DK points as of late, like he's getting around 30, and that's fine. Like he could probably do that in 6 innings here. If things are going really well. It's not a great matchup, super expensive price, probably his last start of the season, and the Mets aren't going anywhere, so they have no reason to push him here, I don't think. I don't know that he's chasing anything besides possible Cy Young that he's not even going to be considered for because his record's so bad.
Yeah.
So I just, I don't see the need with DeGrom. He's just way too expensive.
Yeah, like if he weren't 13-2, we'd be clearly having a different discussion. I'll have some. I'm anxious to see where his ownership is.
I think it'll be low. I think the people that are still playing for the most part are smart enough to realize he's probably not going super deep in this game. Unless we're just completely missing something.
Well, I think that he can go deep in this game if he's pitching well. I don't mean it like efficiently. I just mean if he's showing the signs of a decent start, he's going to stay out there with the hopes of like having some sort of like statement game for a potential Cy Young. Does that make sense? Like I could
I mean,
see
it
them
makes
throwing
sense.
him 125 pitches today if he's got double-digit Ks, like just leaving him out there
The Braves
visually.
are the Braves are clinched. Um,
They are indeed. Let's talk about that.
yeah, so I didn't realize how many games up they were. I thought for whatever reason they're still fighting.
Now they fucking
Um,
shit up.
yeah, they've got quite the lead. So, if they roll out a AAA squad here, then we've got a little bit of a different story. But assuming they roll out somewhat of a normal lineup, I'm going to be under the field on DeGrom wherever he's at.
Jeffrey Lanier in the chat. Hey, Jake and Josh. Hope all is well. I'm at the hospital. This is the best thing I'm looking at right now. Damn, man. Appreciate you tuning in from the hospital, but I hope everything's okay.
Get better. Get better soon.
Yeah, whatever's wrong, just focus on that more than our stupid DFS show. I hope it helps. I hope it helps. Best of luck to you. Yeah, so I'll have some DeGrom. It won't be a crazy amount. Any interest in Newcomb? Because 8,100 I think is a really nice price in this spot.
Yeah, no issue with Newcomb here. The Mets have a bunch of lefties in this lineup. I don't think Newcomb is all that great of a pitcher, but the Mets have been really bad against lefties the whole year.
Blasphemy.
What's that?
Blasphemy. You don't think Newcomb's a good pitcher? Ugh.
I mean, I don't think he's that good. I think he gets overplayed in DFS, and we could see him have elevated ownership here. But the Mets strike out over 24% against lefties for the season, 128 ISO, 300 on the dot on base percentage against lefties, 82 WRC plus, just some of the worst numbers all around for a team. And they're kind of back to where they were at the beginning of the season in terms of their lineup. Like you've got McNeil there, but it's pretty much the same. So I think Newcomb is perfectly fine if he's going to be under 20%. If he's going to be the chalk in this range, then I'm probably going to look to pivot elsewhere and come in underweight.
I'm just taking a look at this now.
Like, is he going to be?
I have everybody in that range like 20%.
Okay.
So I don't know how I'm going to break out of that. From Bieber, Stripling, Newcomb, Heaney, Odorizzi. Like I've got all of those guys basically the same amount. So I'm running out of spots to go.
Like if he's going to be higher owned than Odorizzi, I prefer Newcomb over Quintana. But if he's going to be higher owned than Odorizzi and Stripling, I think those two guys are better pitchers right now. So
I agree. Do you have any interest in bats here? Because this doesn't seem like that kind of game.
No, not really. Don't really want to target against DeGrom, even if it's only 5 or 6 innings. And then Newcomb, I respect. It's a lot of lefty in here. I think it's just Todd Frazier for me, just too cheap, and he mashes lefties.
Completely agree. Orioles and Red Sox. Orioles 3.3 run implied total. Red Sox 5.2. It's a 71% chance to win for the Sox. Probably Jimmy Yacobonis going for Baltimore, although the gambling sites say undecided. Chris Sale going for Boston. It's not like it matters. You're not rostering whoever's playing for the Orioles pitching anyway. So the conversation is about Sale. 11,100 on DK, 11,000 on FanDuel. Second most expensive pitcher on both sites. If you think that Sale can go 6 innings, and against the Orioles, I see no reason to assume otherwise, I think Sale's probably the best play on the board.
I think so. If we think he's going anywhere near 90 pitches, I think he's had an abbreviated outing against Baltimore earlier in the season. He went like 5 innings and struck out 9 or something. Maybe it wasn't against Baltimore, but I just remember him being very good in a limited outing. The righties don't scare me. No one really scares you on Baltimore when you're talking about a pitcher of Sale's caliber, and you get a discount on him. So DK priced him down. Like to see that. I would like to hear that he's going 85 or 90 here, because then I think he could easily give you 6 innings and a bunch of strikeouts. So that's what I'm expecting. I love Sale. Awesome spot. Awesome price.
For sure. Arvit in the chat, just want to touch on this. Scherzer, 300 strikeouts. You doubted, Josh. I did not doubt. I had him projected for 9.6. I said there was like a 49% chance that he had 10 Ks yesterday. If that's doubt, I don't know what to do. Oh, yeah, I love Sale here. Projected for 10.3 Ks in my model today.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. 27.2 DK points. That is a healthy projection in this final week of the season.
Yeah.
Orioles bats, I don't think that we need to talk about in any way. Boston bats, though, number 5 stack for me on FanDuel, number 3 on DraftKings. I have quite a bit, and if the lineup looks like this, I will absolutely have quite a bit. And I assume they'll be popular, but Mookie Betts at 6,100. That is a big-time price tag.
Yeah, pretty expensive. You're not getting a discount on the bats, that's for sure. I mean, there are like the guys at the bottom of the lineup. If you get one or two of them in, like Moreland or Devers or Kinsler, it's not all that difficult to get them in. The wind's blowing out here. It's humid, mid 70s in Boston. Like it seems like a really awesome spot against Yacobonis and the Baltimore bullpen. So I'm right there with you on the Red Sox. Just have to make sure they roll out most of their studs.
Yeah, as always, pay attention to whether or not some of these guys are playing, not just from don't have a zero in your lineup perspective, but it's a very different team if they sit Betts, Martinez, and I don't know, somebody else. Everything changes pretty dramatically. Like that Indians lineup from 2 nights ago where they sat Lindor and Brantley, and all of a sudden it's just a very, very different team.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have a ton of Red Sox if it looks anything remotely close to that. Honestly, I hope they sit one of the big outfielders.
Just to save money.
Yeah. Like, if they sat JD, great. I'm in.
Okay. That's, yeah, I understand.
Just makes Boston a little bit easier to get to, and it's not like they're going to drop their 5.2 run implied total to 4.4.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's probably, I mean, it's not a hot take to say play the Red Sox against whoever the hell the Orioles are running out there today.
Just bullpen so bad too. Like
whole team.
God.
Orioles for the season, 77 weighted runs created plus against lefties. Not so good.
Yeah, not great at all.
Yankees and Rays. I'm not even entirely sure how we can talk about this, but we're going to give it a shot. I have the game as 4.7 run implied total for the Yankees, 3.8 for the Rays, and a 59% chance to win for the Yanks. But there is not a line or a total on this right now. Masahiro Tanaka going for the Yankees. By all accounts, Ryan Stanek as the nominal starter. Most likely Yanni Chirinos coming in relief. Chirinos 5,100 on DK. I believe Chirinos looks like a decent value option. Tanaka, not a guy that I'd like to have too much of. 7 lefties in the projected lineup right now. And the Rays have been just oddly good for the whole season, I guess. What do you want to do with Tanaka and Chirinos?
Tanaka, I think, is a little bit too expensive for me. As you mentioned, the Rays have been awesome. Like since August 1st, the highest WRC plus. They're just like ISO is like over 200. They're not striking out very much. And I don't think they're going to push Tanaka here either. They're gearing up for the playoffs. He's coming off a bad start against Boston. This would be a nice get right spot, but it's not a very good matchup, I don't think. So my interest here is in Chirinos as far as pitching goes, 5,100. And he looks like he's going to come in and get a bunch of righties. He's got good stuff. He can miss bats. I mean, he's one of my favorite guys to play just because when he's down here at this 5K price range and he's not starting, the ownership is automatically low. So some optimizers don't even like include him, and that's even more helpful in a big field tournament. So I love Chirinos here, assuming we get some sort of clarity that he's expected to come in. And I think we might even see some of these Yankees sit out, like Judge or Stanton, Torres, Andhar. I can't remember who sat out yesterday, but I'm assuming a couple of these big bats will be out of the lineup as well.
Yeah, that's my hope that Yanks drop one or two of these power righties like Stanton or Judge and just make their lineup a little bit worse. But I'm a big fan of Yanni for today. I know it says 0 here, but I believe he's not in the player pool on Fantasy Country yet. So
yeah,
he is someone that will show up for me for sure.
Someone will email by the afternoon or reach out to Fantasy Cruncher, and
they're usually good about it. But I mean, I get it at this point in time.
Yeah.
Let me just make sure that he's not there. Yeah, I don't see him. Nope, just Stanek. Yeah. Yankees bats, though. I mean, I'll happily have a little bit of the top because there's just so much power potential. I like the idea of one-offing guys like Judge and Stanton now.
Yeah, I mean, one-offs, absolutely no issue. I do kind of have an issue with stacking against this Tampa bullpen. I know it worked out yesterday, but this bullpen game is just so smart. They have this guy just full blast going in against McCutchen, Judge, Voit, Stanton, and Stanek, and Stanek's pretty good. And then you get another solid pitcher in Chirinos as a long man. Then in the 6th inning, you might get a lefty or what. It doesn't matter. Like, it's just really tough to figure out who they're going to be facing from inning to inning. So I don't like the Yankee stack, but anytime Judge is in there or McCutchen's 4,200, I think that's fine. Stanton under 5K.
There we go. Moving on to Brewers and Cardinals. Brewers 4.3 run implied total. Cardinals 4.2. 50-50 game, even though I just said two different numbers. Thank you, rounding. Julius Chassin going for Milwaukee. John Gant going for the Cardinals. This game does have a line, so I take this one pretty seriously. Chassin at 7,000, not a guy that I'm really looking to grab. It's just a price point that doesn't really work for me today. Similarly for John Gant, 6,300. I can see taking a flyer on him, but that Brewers lineup's kind of scary. This isn't a spot for pitching for me.
Yeah, I mean, Gant is solid against righties. This hard hit percentage still, easily over 52% for the season against lefties. Like the rest of the numbers aren't terrible. He strikes them out almost 20%. The xFIP's under 5 barely. Doesn't give up a ton of fly balls, but that hard contact is kind of ridiculous. And you've got Yelich and Granderson, Shaw, Moustakas on the other side. It's just going to be really tough for me to get to John Gant. And it's not like you're getting him for free here either. So I don't really see the strikeout upside. There is a huge downside with this Brewers team. You saw what they did to a guy like Gomber yesterday.
Gomber mania, not running wild after yesterday.
Dude, Gomber, for whatever reason, people think he's good or good right now. He'll be better next year, I'm sure. But he's just not there right now. And I keep targeting against him, and it's worked 2 out of the last 3 times. Were you on the Brewers last night? I thought that was like the best stack of the night.
I had a little bit. Now I just want to know the answer. So give me 1 second. I'll let you know.
Another team for me is my highest exposed. I was like confused why no one was, or not no one, but why they were so low owned.
I will have an answer for you in a second. I think I had like a relatively neutral amount, if I'm remembering correctly. No, I was quite a bit above the field on DK, so long as their expected ownership was fine. I had 8%. We were projecting 3.
Yeah, I think I had like 13 or 14. So that's what saved me with all the Erlin and Stratton I had.
Yeah.
But like Braun was my highest exposed hitter. He obviously double donged. That always helps. I thought it was just a brutal matchup for Gomber. I don't think it's like, I think Gant he has a better chance of surviving here.
Agreed.
But those lefties are really tough. Yelich, it feels like every time he's hitting an extra base hit at this point.
Yeah, he had like 5 or 6 RBI last night, I think.
He's just
$6,000 for Christian Yelich right now.
He's nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy. Good idea getting rid of him, Miami. Yeah, I'll have a little bit of both of these teams, but I don't really love the idea of going crazy on either. Like, Gant is fine. Chassin is fine. Implied total is relatively low. I don't love this game as much as I would like to.
I don't really have much besides a few of the Brewers lefties.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to get to Chassin. I'd rather just pay down with the Chirinos. But I thought Cody Reed was on this slate, and he's not. They start that game 20 minutes before, so that's kind of frustrating because I would have really liked to play Cody Reed here. Sure. I mean, Chassin is fine. Carpenter, I think, is a fantastic play for 4,700 dual position eligibility. Obviously, and then Jose Martinez. So the 1-2 here for the Cardinals, and then I don't see much that I like after that.
Yeah, I'll have a little bit of Carpenter. You can talk me into the top part of the Cards lineup: Martinez, DeJong, Ozuna, but just a small amount of lines. It's not an offense game, or at least I don't think it's going to be an offense game. Those lefties can make it an offense game, though. That's for sure.
That's true. Yelich can make it. Just go 4 for 4 and 3 homers by himself.
Pirates and Cubs. Pirates 3.7 run implied total. Cubs 4.8. It's a 63% chance to win for the Cubs. Ivan Nova going for Pittsburgh. Jose Quintana going for Chicago. They're not a total on this game, if I remember correctly. Based on the weather report, it doesn't look like it's going to be some sort of crazy Wrigley wind game. So I'm comfortable with where we've projected, or where I've projected this. Nova 6,700, not a guy that I'm getting. Quintana 7,500. I'll have a little bit, but again, this isn't a game where I'm looking for a ton of pitching. I greatly prefer the Cubs bats. What about you?
I'm at least considering Quintana in this range, which is a big step.
Wow.
For me, it should just write him off. He has been getting more swinging strikes, a lot more chases in pretty tough matchups. Or at least neutral matchups, like Milwaukee twice. Philadelphia, I don't think, is a cakewalk. Cincinnati is a tough strikeout matchup, and then the White Sox gave up 5 earned but struck out 8 with a 17% swinging strike rate. I think that was his highest of the season. I don't know. He's cheap enough. He's 7,500. He's going to get a few lefties in here. Dickerson, Frazier at the very least. And then that bottom of the lineup doesn't worry me at all. Reyes, Newman, and obviously the pitcher spot. As long as the wind is calm here, I think that's a viable play. Do you have a feel on Quintana ownership here? Because I
would imagine relatively low.
Okay. Yeah. Then he's fine for me. I just don't want to play Quintana chalk.
It would surprise me if he were chalk.
Okay. Nova love targeting lefties against him. So the first 3, Murphy, Zobrist, Rizzo. You got Schwarber in the 5 spot there. Getting this Cubs stack. And the Cubs, they're kind of choking a little bit. Like, they're only a half game up on the Brewers, so they got to start winning games here. And this is the perfect one to tee off against Ivan Nova. So
let's look at the odds.
I'm looking at it right now. Half game above the Brewers. They could theoretically miss out on the playoffs. I mean, it's probably not going to happen, but they could find themselves in a wild card game.
You mean like playoffs proper? They're 100% to make the playoffs right now.
Oh, yeah, I know. I mean, for the wild card though, they obviously want to avoid that 1 game playoff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be tight in the Central coming down the stretch.
Yep. So let's see.
Cubs are cheering for the Cardinals pretty heavily here.
Yeah, no kidding. Or they just take care of business by themselves. If they win 3 more games, they're going to be 2 or 3 more games. They're easily going to be fine.
Yeah. What's their actual magic number?
It's got to be 3, right?
League. It is 1. To avoid elimination, they've already done that. To clinch a postseason berth, they need 1. To clinch first, they need a combination of 5 wins and Milwaukee losses.
Oh, 5? Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense.
Alrighty. Yeah, Cubbies bats are going to be very popular for me if this lineup looks anything like this. Lots of Murphy, lots of Zobrist, Rizzo, Baez, Schwarber. I want all these dudes.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. They're cheap too. Again, I don't understand it.
It blows my mind. Outside of Baez at 4,800, I mean, Daniel Murphy at 4,100 to lead off. That is such a great price.
Yep, it seems like an error. Like there's something broken with him on the DK algorithm.
3 of the first 4 hitters on the Cubs have second base eligibility. You don't see that every day. Not a spot where you end up with a ton of eligibility.
Right.
Anything from the Pirates?
Cervelli, I think, is a nice leverage play if Quintana is chalky in this range.
I agree.
I mean, I like his matchup a ton.
Indians and White Sox. Indians 4.7 run implied total. White Sox 4.3. I believe this game does not have a line. Yeah, it's Bieber versus undecided on the betting sites. So everything I'm saying here is completely made up. Shane Bieber going for Cleveland. Jace Fry looking to start for the White Sox. You seeing the same?
Yeah.
Cool. Bieber Mania. Cousin to Gomber Mania. 21% ownership for me on Bieber right now. 8,900 on DraftKings. He is the 6th most expensive pitcher of the day. I'm going to be going there. I'm going to go ahead and assume that you aren't.
On Bieber?
Yeah.
It's going to depend on ownership here. That's kind of a cop-out, but if he gets any sort of, like if he's near double digits, I'm pretty comfortable fading that. Like he can get strikeouts and he can get swings and misses and all that, but he also gets hit really hard. And the White Sox have power lefties that I like in this matchup, like Palka, Moncada leading off for only 4K, Narvaez 3,600. I think he's a fine catcher option, and then Delmonico if he's in too. So Bieber just gives up way too much hard contact for a 9K pitcher, or almost 9K. So I'm off of him, assuming he's near double-digit ownership.
Yeah. Dana in the chat saying Hector Santiago is supposed to get most of the innings afterwards. He's not stretched out, so most you're going to see is like 3-4 innings. Not changing anything for me, especially if you're staying lefty-lefty. So my focus would be on nothing, really, in this game. I don't expect the Indians lineup to be Lindor, Brantley, Ramirez, Encarnacion, Donaldson at the top. I figure they'll sit somebody at least. And they're pretty expensive. So I'll never complain about going to that full stack of the Indians, but I don't really see a ton of appeal in Cleveland bats today.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think we see a normal A-plus Cleveland lineup. Santiago, though, if he's expected to come in, he does have pretty bad reverse splits. So I'd be looking at a guy like Brantley if he's in, but seeing this questionable tag next to Brantley probably makes me think that he's not going to play. There's no reason to push anyone for Cleveland right now. And then Donaldson, if he's in, just destroys lefties for his career.
Yeah.
I don't really need to talk about Lindor and Ramirez. If they're in the lineup, they're going to be in my player pool.
Yep. Yeah, I won't care if I get them, but I don't see this as some sort of like amazing spot.
Mm-hmm.
To the Tigers we go. Tigers 3.9 run implied total. Twins. The Jakes 4.6. We are almost done with the Minnesota Jakes gimmick for the season. Matt Boyd going for Detroit. Jake Odorizzi going for the Jakes. Boyd 7,700 on DraftKings, 8,400 on FanDuel. Don't really see him as particularly playable. Odorizzi, on the other hand, 7,700 on FanDuel, 7,900 on DK. I've got 20% plus of Jake Odorizzi, and that's probably going to continue closer to lock. Where are you at on Odorizzi?
I'm right there with you. I like Odorizzi. Tigers are worse on the road. On the road, it's below 60 here. It's cold here. Like last night, it was legitimately cold when the game was going on. Like it's going to be even lower than 59 degrees or whatever it says right now. Tigers strike out 24.4% on the road against righties for the season. 77 WRC plus in that split. Almost no power. Maybe the wind blowing out helps a little bit, but I like Odorizzi's matchup against all these righties near the middle and the bottom of the order. So you're really worried about, like, are you worried about Goodrum? Christian Stewart is solid. Candelario is okay, but there are so many strikeouts for Odorizzi. I'm expecting him to close out the season really, really strong here with a bunch of strikeouts and getting deep into this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I like Odorizzi. I like the Twins. I'll have a little bit of the Tigers because I assume Odorizzi is going to have some ownership. So I'm okay with running back the opposite side. But yeah, for me, it's all Odorizzi, 20+% of the ownership for, like, I can't beat it. 7,900 is just a perfect price point for today.
Yeah. And EMAC's been kind of talking me down on some of these prices. There's going to be value that opens up as far as hitting goes because you'll see weird lineups all over the place. So $7,900, well, it may seem like a fair to overprice on Odorizzi. I think it's more like, you can find a guy that's $1,000 cheaper than that's batting fifth. If you need to pay down at one spot to get that extra $1,000.
So Logan Forsythe, just an amazing play today, correct?
He's so bad. If there's ever a spot to play him, I do think Boyd, though, does have. I'm trying to think. I really like Kepler in this spot. I think that.
You have Kepler in your lineup?
No, I don't have him in my lineup, man.
You should probably not play him then.
He did come in and pinch hit yesterday, though. They should play him against lefties. He hits lefties really well. But, the Twins aren't a very sharp organization. They're probably not familiar with Fangraphs.com. So, who knows? But if Kepler plays, I do like him a lot. Tyler Austin, I think, is a great play for 3,900.
Damn. Grossman.
Yeah, Grossman's fine. Grossman, like,
there's a sentence there for you. Teed up. Grossman is gross, man.
Yeah, he is gross, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's basically Austin and then Kepler if Kepler's in lineup.
Yeah, give me all of the Logan Forsythe. $3,000 for a second baseman on DK. I could not be more in. Lots of Astudillo. I love the Twins today. I'm gonna be smashing the Twins.
You don't have any interest in Boyd, right?
No, not at all.
Neither do I. Yeah, he's a pretty easy one to cross off the list. Yeah, Boyd's not really good against either hand, but he does give up a little bit of hard contact to righties, a ton of fly balls. So he may get saved by the weather here, but yeah, I do like Austin a ton here.
Yeah, great value catcher spot.
Astudillo?
Yeah.
Or Austin?
Astudillo. Both. I mean, Austin obviously not a catcher, but also a great value.
Astudillo, if you got a lineup bump, I like him a lot. He just doesn't strike out at all.
No, 6% projected K rate from Steamer.
I see one strikeout the last month for him, and he's played probably 14 or 15 days.
Ben Fleissner in the chat. No Boyd. Seriously, he is not. He's not on team Fade Boyd.
Look at Kepler's WRC plus this year against lefties. Dana, it's over 100. I checked yesterday because he was crushing them earlier in the season. Like his exit velocity was up near the top. He was destroying them. Now he's cooled off a little bit, but he's just a better hitter. And for some reason, he fell off in the middle of the year. So they stopped playing him.
Yeah, I can't get to Boyd here. I like literally every pitcher above him that isn't Edwin Jackson. I'd rather have Odorizzi, Heaney, Newcomb, Stripling, Bieber. So.
Yeah. There's still the Twins. That's like Thomas. We're scared of the Twins lineup in 50-degree weather? No, I don't think it's. I'm not scared of the Twins lineup. Like if Boyd was a better pitcher or cheaper.
Why are we acting like because it's 50 degrees, no one can ever hit?
It's just favorable pitching weather. It doesn't like you see games in October that go 10-9 in the playoffs.
I've played games when it snowed. We had plenty of offense.
You can still manufacture runs without hitting homers.
Yeah,
people forget that sometimes.
Yeah, I'm in for some Twins. I'm in for some Odorizzi.
I'm not saying you can't play Boyd. I'm not going to, but if you want to play Boyd, go ahead. That's no one's stopping you.
Yes, Mike Thomas gets it. Oil can Boyd. That'll work.
Oil can. Yeah, there we go.
Phillies and Rockies were off to Coors. 4.4 run implied total for the Phillies, 5.9 for the Rockies. It's a 64% chance to win for the Rocks. Nick Pivetta going for Philadelphia. German Marquez going for the Rockies. It should come as no surprise. While my ownership right now is low, I will have more than 9% of German Marquez. Marquez is just filthy. I want to have a bunch here. And I'm certainly not going to be playing anything more than a stray line or two of Nick Pivetta. So what do you think of Marquez?
Yeah, just like 10-2, not expensive enough. He's amazing. 11 plus strikeouts in 4 of his last 5. That alone should put him above 10-2 here. He is an ace. Like he has arrived as a legit ace the second half of the season. The results show it. The plate discipline numbers are incredible. This Phillies team, yes, they're in Coors, but they strike out almost 25% for the season against righties. It's just we're going to get him at a reasonable ownership. So, I mean, give me all of Marquez. I'm going to be over the field. He's not going to be 30%. Even if he was, I would still be over the field, I think.
Yeah.
With all the uncertainty at the top, the Rockies are still fighting for a playoff spot. They're going to ride their guy. He's gone. He doesn't even need to go 100 pitches to get 11 strikeouts. Like it's insane how efficient he's been, even after getting in trouble in the first inning last time out, and he still bounced back for 11 Ks. So Marquez is a terrible play.
I don't even know how you could land on a statement like that. 35, 35, 27, 38, 31, 21, 28, 20, 27, 29. Like, he's had one start below 20 points in the last 2 months. He might be the best pitcher in baseball over the last 2 months. 4 of his last 5 starts, he struck out 11 or more.
Exactly. If he gets blown up, he's still, like, you can say he's a terrible play if he gets blown up for the first time in forever.
He's only 10-2.
That still doesn't make. He's legitimately, like, this is Max Scherzer level pitcher. He has been that for 2 months.
Yeah,
and he's 10-2, and it's just because he's in Coors, and you're going to find value elsewhere. Like
35 fantasy points against Arizona in Coors, 28 against San Francisco in Coors, 31 against St. Louis in Coors. Like, it doesn't matter that he's in Coors at all.
It has not mattered the entire year for him.
I'd be happy if he wasn't, but it's not changing anything for me.
I think, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I think Adam has made the argument that he's even better in Coors. Maybe he was saying he's a better play because you get him at lower ownership.
Speaking of ownership.
We got it?
Yep.
All right, where's he at? If he's under 20, this is ridiculous.
Oh, God, I've seen that damn Anthony Rendon picture so much.
Right? We use that so much.
I used it constantly.
We got Marquez at no ownership. Now he's not going to be at no ownership, but the first run through, he's like, why would you not want to play? Why would you say this guy's a terrible play?
That I don't understand. It's not like he's 1,300 or 13,000. Like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's 1% owned, I'm gonna have 25.
Oh yeah. Sale, I think he's a better play than Sale at if these ownerships, if he's going to be, a fifth of the ownership of Sale, like give me Marquez straight up. I mean, Sale we know is going to be on a pitch count. They have no reason to push him. They just want a few good. I'm assuming they just want a few good innings out of Sale. I'm still planning on playing him, but if these ownerships stay anywhere close to what we have right now, there's no way that I'm not just going all in on Marquez.
I could not agree more. That is an amazing spot. I hope he's 5% or lower. I'll have so much more than that.
Marquez over Sale, you're crazy. Okay, Marquez is not a better pitcher than Sale.
No.
We're playing fantasy though, and you have to take into account ownership. We're talking about large field tournaments. If Sale is going to be 5 times the ownership, and he's limited, and Marquez is not limited, and Marquez has struck out 11 in 4 out of his last 5, and he's getting the most swinging strikes in the league. I mean,
yeah, I want Marquez because of all of the ancillary factors here. If it were July, I would want Sale over Marquez, just in a vacuum. But because of playing the Orioles and not being in Coors. But there are so many things that say, just kind of avoid that 30% of Sale.
I mean, I'm going to come in lower than that. I did not expect 30.
Yeah, same. God, I'm so excited for Marquez tonight now. Chat's crazy today. You guys could have your Matt Boyd. I'll take German Marquez.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to find $3,200 players that are viable.
Yeah.
And you really need one of them. You're going to be able to fit in Marquez with, if he's your SP1, I'll gladly take that. Marquez stripling or something. You punt 1 or 2 spots, and then you have a full 5-man stack of whatever, the Cubs, the Brewers, if you want to go there. You can definitely go to the Red Sox if they sit Betts, JD, or Benintendi. It's not going to be hard. So just play the best plays, and Marquez is one of them.
Golfer in the chat, if Sale has a pitch count around 90, would that be worth the price? It can be. If he has an actual pitch count of 90, that doesn't take me off of Sale.
No, that I'm expecting.
His ownership takes me off of him.
It doesn't take me off of him. I don't think you need to. You wouldn't need to fade Sale.
No,
but I'm thinking coming in underweight and using. Okay, so even if you don't think Marquez is a great play, and you want to allocate 40% to that range, you can come in at 25% of Sale.
Yeah.
And put 10% at Marquez, put 5% at, I don't know, Greinke or whoever you want in there as well. So, it doesn't have to be one or the other. It doesn't have to be 100%. If you want to do that, I think 100% of a 5% owned player is way different than 100% of a 30% owned player, obviously. But I don't think people realize that sometimes.
Can you get Marquez with a Rocky stack? I would imagine.
You for sure can do that. You can go Marquez Chirinos with Rockies.
I've got Arenado, Story, Dahl, Cargo, Astudillo, Austin, Forsythe, Grossman, Marquez, and King Felix. Yeah. So I'm happy with that.
It's gonna be fun. I hope people don't play Marquez. More for me.
Brandon T. Sale is not 8,100 on FanDuel. I'm not entirely sure what you're seeing, or if you're in the chat from 2 weeks ago when he was underpriced.
Sale 11K on FanDuel.
Yep. Yeah, I would like Sale quite a bit at 8,100.
Good to see the chat riled up, though.
Yeah.
I like that. There you go.
Chat is particularly riled up for the last Wednesday show. And relatively low viewership right now, but everybody that's here is lit. I like it.
Yeah. Thanks for participating, guys.
Yeah, look, when push comes to shove, we're here to just, give our thoughts and have some interactions. I'm happy that it's going back and forth. It makes it more fun.
Yeah.
Keeps us on our toes. Yeah, Brandon T, you might want to update that sheet. Otherwise, you're going to have 87% Chris Sale on FanDuel today.
Haven't seen Team B in here today. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably just sleep in this week too. Dodgers, who killed me for the 850th time last night, facing the Diamondbacks. 3.9 run implied total for the Dodgers, 3.7 for the Diamondbacks. It's a 52% chance to win for the Dodgers. Ross Stripling going for LA. Zach Greinke going for Arizona. There's no way Stripling ends up at 1%. I'd figure that gets closer to 10, but I have 23. What would be the reason that we don't mash Ross Stripling here?
It's coming off a bad start. This is a good price for him. Obviously, the Diamondbacks strike out, I think, about 25% over the last month against righties. Or maybe that was since August 1st. I guess I can look it up right now. Arizona, 26% over the last 30 days. So it's gotten even worse since a couple days ago. Versus righties, 61 WRC plus. That's disgusting. I don't know. Arizona, they're a team that I've overrated pretty much all season as far as their hitting as a unit. Pollock and Goldschmidt have been hot and cold. Peralta's been pretty steady, and he hits righties very well. But like Mathis, Ahmed, Descalso is less than what I thought he was. John Jay leading off just doesn't really do it for me. So see Stripling, minus 117 favorite. The roof is open, so that's a bit of a concern for Stripling and Greinke. But that would be the only reason I could see you wouldn't want to play Stripling at 8,200.
What do you think of Greinke? 9,400. It just seems like a price point you can't get to.
I mean, I'm finding the $800 to go up to Marquez.
Right. Same. I mean, I would rather have Tanaka at 9,500.
Like, I prefer Greinke over Bieber, but it's just why do you need to take Greinke at 9,400 in maybe the worst matchup when you can just pay up for a guy that's better at 10-2, or pay down to Quintana, or Newcomb. You can get up to Newcomb there, or down to Newcomb. So I just don't see the need for it on this slate. So I'm gonna have very, very limited amounts of Greinke. I don't want to say I have none of him just because I haven't crunched yet, but
sure,
I'm more likely to have none than 10%.
Any Diamondbacks bats for you? I don't see them as particularly viable.
Peralta, that's it.
Goldschmidt, I guess, because he's Paul Goldschmidt. But what about Dodgers? Is that a stack for you tonight? Because I don't really have a ton of interest.
Their prices came down quite a bit. The roof is still open, and I'm not seeing like no ownership on them. Like, they're still getting a little bit of juice. At least I think Grandal was up there. Jock's price has come down about 20% since last night.
Yeah,
which is nice to see.
Only 3,100 on FanDuel. Very, very, very cheap.
That's nice. I like those. I like the top. I like 2 through 5, I should say. Turner, Machado, Muncy, Bellinger. I think those guys are all very reasonably priced. Good hitting environment. Greinke, obviously a very respectable pitcher, but really tough matchup for him too. So I'll take a chance on those 4.
Justin King, will we have daily NBA shows like this?
Oh,
you bet your ass we will. That is my claim to fame, so to speak. Yeah, I will certainly be doing this every single morning with significantly more energy than I do for the baseball slates.
For the 3 of you that care, there will be NHL streams, live streams.
Oh, shit. All that. Guys, you guys, an embarrassment of riches at awesemo.com.
Honestly.
Favorite hitter in this entire game? Please don't say Max Muncy.
No, I think it's Turner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me Bellinger.
When Jake, you cut out NHL shows. I was just saying we'll have those. It starts next Wednesday. A week from today, NHL starts, so should be a very fun time. Well, for me, hopefully for you guys too.
Are you going solo or are you going to have a co-host?
I will have a co-host. At least. Oh, time. Oh, the time that we're doing the live stream. I think it's. Well, I'll just check. I'm pretty sure it's right after from 8. So they're 2:30 to 3:30 Eastern. So it'd be about 3:30 Eastern to 4:30. Then the guys will jump on the NBA show after that, and then the live before lock after that.
I like it. 3 more games. Rangers and Angels. Rangers 3.8 run implied total. Angels 4.8. We're starting to get some lines in some of these games.
Okay.
Only 2 games that don't have regular lines would be Baltimore, Boston, and Cleveland, the White Sox. But that Yanks Tampa Bay game is now out. No different than what we expected. Do we have any totals for some of these games now?
Yanks Tampa.
Yanks Tampa is 7.5. That is even lower than I had it. I think that makes Tanaka look a bit tastier. A full run lower than I had it.
I just never know what to read into for the Yankees lines, just because they're basically saying the bullpen's can give up no runs. So other games, the Cubs game, I'm seeing Cubs 4.5, Pirates 3.5, so at 8 total. Nothing yet for White Sox, Indians. Yeah.
Okay. Let's close this shit out. So 16% ownership for Heaney has to be a mistake. On FanDuel?
Why would that be a mistake? What's he priced?
8,500.
I don't know who else is in that price range.
I don't have any of them at that price, so I agree.
You're gonna have multiple min salary guys or close to it that are viable today and probably hitting your top of the order. So
Yohander Mendez going for Texas, Andrew Heaney going for the Angels. Heaney, incredibly chalky on DK, 31% expected ownership at 8K. I won't be anywhere near there. I have half of that. What do you want to do with Heaney?
I mean, I thought he was going to be a fine play, but I just don't have interest in playing him at this kind of ownership. He does still give up power to righties. Now, that's kind of advantageous because the righties in here are Profar, Andrews, and Beltre. I actually like Profar the best out of those guys. So I don't know. I think I would rather just pivot to a guy like Odorizzi or Quintana, even if he's going to take up most of that ownership in this range. Like, I don't think Texas is that great of a matchup. We're just like, man, you got to get pitchers against Texas. I don't think he needs that type of pitcher just yet.
Daily Fantasy Fanatic. Will they actually be talking baseball today on the deep dive? They talked about it for an entire hour yesterday, in case you missed that one. That show is very specifically only a baseball discussion. So if you're talking about the process show, which happened at 11 o'clock yesterday, where we talked about football, that is not a baseball show. So, yeah, that's how that shook out.
You guys didn't talk. I didn't catch the show. You didn't talk baseball yesterday on the process show?
Laffy and I only talked about the NFL.
Good stuff. You're going to talk baseball today with Adam, though, right? Because he's the baseball guy.
I would imagine.
All right.
Angels bats. Number 1 stack for me on FanDuel. Number 2 stack for me on DK. They are chalky. And I'm going to be right there with the chalk. Mendez is terrible, and I like a lot of this Angels team. Cole Calhoun, Trout, clearly. Justin Upton, Andrelton Simmons, Jeffrey Marte, Taylor Ward. These are all guys that I'm going to have quite a bit of. Love the Angels. What do you think?
Hard to argue against them near 5-run total. Besides Trout, Ohtani, Upton, they're so cheap. So they're kind of tough to avoid, at least as 1 and 2 offs. I don't love Calhoun if he's leading off. Even at 3,300, lefty, he's really cooled down. Obviously, got to love Trout. The 3 outfielders, really, is where I want the majority of my exposure. So super hot take there. And then I'm just a fan of Andrelton Simmons as a hitter, so I'll play him at 4K at shortstop. I think these guys are going to come in a little bit overowned, like Marte and Ward and Calhoun. So I'm going to avoid them the best I can.
Mike Thomas, I don't know what I just said, and I'm pretty sure you're joking, but why are you giving me the finger, man? I can't keep track of the things I say. I'm a goldfish. 30 seconds after it comes out of my mouth, I forget. You guys are on like a 15-second delay, so I've got like a 15-second window to try to remember anything that comes out of my mouth. Anyway, I know you're kidding. Oh, Mike. Oh, Dave Thomas is the guy that owned Wendy's. Okay. Hungry for Wendy's.
What?
Look, man, I'm running out of shit to talk about. I don't know what's happening in chat anymore. I'm just stupid. It's too early.
I have no idea. So this is fun.
Yeah. I can't wait to stack up the Angels here. I hope it just works out because it basically never does.
I just don't know that you're going to need all these cheap fillers, like from the Angels specifically. So hoping some of these late lineups have better values or just like different values at the same price point. Because I think like you're seeing this projected lineup and everyone's just going to start making lineups this afternoon. And, they'll just see, oh, well, Marte's projected to be in the lineup. Ward's projected to be in the lineup. They're cheap. Let me throw them in. And then they don't pivot if there are some cheap guys on Oakland or Seattle or San Francisco or San Diego. So
just so that I don't leave this hanging, Ben asked me who my top 3 would be for an NBA season long league. I have no idea. I've never played NBA season long. So anything that I would be giving you would be bad information. I would just be naming fucking Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, and Giannis or something stupid. 2 games left. Let's get out of here. A's and Mariners. 4.3 run implied total on both sides. Coin flip game. Edwin Jackson for the A's. Felix Hernandez for the Mariners. Felix, I think, is like the only guy that's available at any sort of quote-unquote value price. 5,900 on DK. Only 6% ownership. I've got 14. I'm definitely going to be over the field here. He's one of the only guys I can get for relatively cheap. So, what do you want to do with King Felix today?
I was just looking at him, and I jockey because like the price is fine, but he's looked really bad to me lately. Run prevention's been an issue. Like he had that one start, 7 innings, 9 Ks. I think that was against San Diego. I faded him, but has failed to reach double-digit swinging strikes in his last 6 starts. The chase rate is nothing spectacular. He pitches better at home for the most part. But this is a really tough matchup against Oakland. So I'm siding with the Oakland bats here. I love Matt Olson. I love Jed Lowry. Chapman's too cheap. Chris Davis, was it just a day off for him yesterday? He wasn't in the lineup I saw. But
No idea.
Yeah. I don't like Martini very much just because he's a pinch hit risk. Although he did have 6 at-bats yesterday, so maybe he didn't come out yesterday. But
I think he just rested, by the way. I just searched for Chris Davis's name. Okay. Didn't see any.
That's what I figured. But he's 5,100. The stack as a whole is very viable, I think. Nice value on Piscotty as well. So not a good hitting environment, but I'd rather stack up the Oakland A's than the Twins or the Tigers. So there's just not that many great warm weather games. I mean, even Coors is pretty cooled down. So outside of Arizona, everyone else is kind of in the 60s or low 70s.
There you go. Seattle bats, I'll have a skosh on DK, but I don't like targeting hitters here. Nelson Cruz will be a guy that I have a little bit of. Kyle Segura, but this is more dumpster diving for me. And I will not have any Edwin Jackson, nor will the public.
Yeah, Jackson just kind of in a void for me. I don't see the need to get to him. Would rather go with my boy, Jose Quintana, or Odorizzi.
Your boy. We're coming full circle here.
I'm just going to get destroyed. Pirate stack's just going to score 10 in the first.
Okay.
First time I played.
This went so well yesterday from a pitching matchup, and now we're going to get a team that neither pitcher should be used. Padres and Giants. Padres 3.7 run implied total. Giants 3.8. 51% chance to win for the Giants. Luis Perdomo going for San Diego. Casey Kelly going for the Giants. I don't think you could play either of these guys. They're not going to go deep enough in the game. Will you look at Perdomo or Kelly?
I agree with you. I don't think that these guys are going to go deep enough. So I don't like bats in this game either, though. It's going to be bullpen on both sides. Both these teams have respectable bullpens. It's a terrible park and terrible hitters. So I have basically nothing for this game. Do you have anything that, as far as hitting, that you like?
I'll get a couple lines, like 2 or 3 lines of each team, just because I kind of hit everybody right now. But no, this is a very, very, very unappealing game across the board.
All right.
Crunches.
Same page.
All right. Give me either pitchers or a stack to look at on DK. Yes, I'm about to share my screen.
You want to share your screen? No, I'm kidding.
Motherfucker.
Let's try a team we kind of know what lineup they're rolling out. But let's try someone had an interesting point, Colorado, and see if you can get any Marquez in there.
Cash entertainment. You do not need a $2,700 utility play right now. Just fucking put anybody else in. It's 10 o'clock in the morning.
On what, FanDuel?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. As if that's going to hold. Who did you tell me to go with? Sorry.
Colorado with Marquez. See if you got anything like that.
I do. I have a few. Well, I have at least one.
All right.
Just because I know that I read it off. Yeah. It was the Marquez Felix line with Astudillo, Austin, Forsythe, Grossman from the Twins, and then a 4-man of Arenado, Story, Dahl, and Gonzalez. I fucking love that lineup.
I'm not crazy about the Twins, but if they make it work with Coors and the GOAT, then sure.
Yeah, I think that's probably the only one I have, but let me see if I can functionally get to him by swapping out somewhere else. So Marquez is 10-2, Felix is 5-9, that's 16-1.
Go to the next one over, Tanaka.
Yeah, like this could easily, you could switch those out here. If I make this King Felix.
You go down to the one bottom right, number 77.
Oh.
You could go.
This Marquez could be well, it's easy to just stick with the Felix Marquez combo. But yeah. Cervelli, Ozuna, Marte, Pablo Reyes, Eek. LeMahieu, Arenado, Story, Dahl.
Stacking against my boy, Quintana?
I mean, I will.
I mean, if it lets me get in the best pitcher on the slate, then sure.
Yonder, Alonso, Donaldson, Lindor, and Melky. You can get there with... you can't get there with that lineup, actually.
I mean, with Chirinos, you probably could. $800 cheaper, right?
Yeah, probably. Joshy boy, feisty too. I'm not feisty. All right, I'm probably feisty.
Where are you seeing that?
Got to get this win.
Feisty.
That's me, Mr. Feisty.
All right, any other teams? You want to check out the Dodgers? Do you have any of them?
Not really.
What about...
These numbers are super incorrect now, but that's
it does that all the time. Yeah. I don't know why.
I can never figure it out. All right, who am I deeply over the field on right now? Brewers, Yankees, Twins, Tigers. I don't know. What do the Brewers stacks look like? Milwaukee, Philly. That'll be an interesting combination. Don't know if I like targeting against Marquez like that. Oh, Cousins' price dropped quite a bit.
Oh, you mean he's not 5K anymore?
Yeah. Yeah, you can play him at 3,800 now, everybody, just in case you're curious. If you played him last night at 4,900, congrats on lighting money on fire. Not that kind of hitter, folks. All right, FanDuel crazies. We're getting down the home stretch. The worst is going to be having to go through some of this stuff for DK for the NBA when I know that I'm not going to play any DraftKings.
You're not going to play DraftKings?
No, I can't mess with that late swap bullshit.
Oh, is FanDuel not doing late swap?
Not that I'm aware of. What can we look at here for FanDuel? I guess the best bet would be to just grab... Ooh.
Sale, Marquez.
Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, even DeGrom at 12-3 is not outlandish. I'm going to grab DeGrom just because that sort of paints the entire FanDuel picture. You go to DeGrom, Mets, Twins, I don't love. Tigers, Mets, I don't love. Cubs, Mets, fuck, how many? Because we're getting the 3-man. That makes sense. Makes the Mets a little bit more appealing, I guess. Trying to find a lineup I like. I don't like any of these. Every DeGrom line is a 3-man Mets stack.
Why don't you like late swap? I can answer that. Too much time, and if you don't do it, you don't have an edge. So,
yeah, I don't want to sit here from 4 o'clock until 10 o'clock every day doing work, and then after that, yeah, I have a life. I've got a wife. If I tell her that I need to sit here and do this from 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock every night, I'm going to not have a wife. Just, I have no interest. It's too much work.
If you can do it and you know how to do it the right way with MME, then sure. But
yeah,
I don't think you're like crying about there being late swap. Just go over to FanDuel, just like some people are like, oh, this ruins my whatever 9 nights or whatever. Well, then don't play it.
Yeah. I don't care if I have a guy that gets scratched after lock. At all. 0% care. Doesn't tilt me, doesn't bother me, nothing. Because it's going to affect everybody equally.
Yeah. You're saying on FanDuel with no late swap?
I mean, yeah, just previously, like, if someone got late scratch, people lose their mind. You should not be, like, predisposed to getting guys that get late scratched. There are days where it's going to save you. There are days that it's going to bury you.
Yep.
I'm willing to take that. But no, I can't be sitting around, find out somebody gets scratched at like 8:05 and then having to re-optimize 250 lineups on DK. Otherwise, I'm going to get I'm going to be a poor fantasy player because of it. Impossible. So I'm not going to be playing on DK.
You know what sport doesn't have a lot of late swapping?
Would that be hockey?
That would be NHL.
I was going to say League of Legends.
I don't know about that. That might have late swap.
I don't think that anybody gets scratched.
Play NHL on DK. Well, we'll get you playing a little bit. You'll like it once you start making money. Pretty confident you will.
Chris Sale looking pretty tasty on FanDuel today. Lots of twin stacks. Riding dirty with the Twins tonight. Way too many Angel stacks with Chris Sale, though.
Yeah, and just a note about FanDuel, if any of these like price stacks go off, you're gonna need Sale, DeGrom, Marquez. You're gonna need a huge score in your pitcher. So I wouldn't bother with like Heaney would be a pretty easy guy to go underweight for me.
Yeah. Okay, so that is it for us. Process show coming up in the 11 to 11:15 range. Myself and Adam will probably take a closer look at some of the pitching here. Talk a little bit more about the stack, no stack conundrum. From A to B, 2:30. Andrew and Ben breaking down God knows what today. We'll have the deeper dive, 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Adam and Laffy going through this process with actual lineups and actual game lines. Very valuable. Please check that out. And then tonight, live before lock, Jake and Emac. That was a drum roll, in case you couldn't hear it. Yeah, no Chris tonight. He better pop his ass into that chat, or he is going to find himself not winning that home run contest that Jake is now ahead in after a double dong from Ryan Braun last night.
Yep.
One last thing to plug. This will not be a live stream, but it will be a show put out at the same time the process show comes out. So 11 o'clock on Friday, dropping a video going through my process for Sunday's Week 4 NFL slate. I'm going to do my full breakdown and build of everything that I will be doing for Sunday. So we'll be looking through Fantasy Cruncher, building groups, going through everything. So check that out. It will be posted at 11 a.m. on Friday.
Nice. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about doing it too. But yeah, I couldn't do it live. Didn't want to get distracted, so it'll be recorded. There we go, everybody. That is it. Jake, do you have anything else you want to plug?
All hitters, pitchers, and stacks is out. Kind of the first look at the slate. Few pitchers, few stacks, few one-offs. If you looked last night, you saw Ryan Braun on there, I believe. So that was pretty fun if you played him. But yeah, just keep an eye out for all of our content. Just keep the YouTube page open, subscribe so you get notifications when we go live, which we're basically going live from, we've got like 4 or 5 shows every single day. So definitely getting your money's worth, or you're not even paying. So a lot of free content.
Yeah.
So reward us by watching it.
Reward us by watching it. Like and subscribe, baby. That's the thing we need the most on YouTube. Like and subscribe, and we will talk to you again tomorrow morning. Later.